This is it, the heart of the Iowa automobile industry. Only the largest Iowa dealers are represented on the Merle Hay Auto Mile. Friedman Toyota Volkswagen Saab, Des Moines Chrysler Plymouth, Charles Gabus Ford, Acura of Des Moines, Bob Brown Chevy Geo, Stivers Lincoln Mercury, Hummel's Nissan, Bob Brown Isuzu, Suzuki Incorporated, the Merle Hay Auto Mile. Shop the mile.
On the next Whoopi Goldberg show, Senator Al Gore. So, Mr. Quayle, when you coming on?
Wednesday at midnight on Channel 5. You're watching Channel 5.
For more than 60 years, it has offered some peace of mind at times like this. 94 million Americans have depended on it for health insurance. Now, for about 1/4 of them, the protection is threatened or gone.
If this thing does get dumped on us, I mean, financially, we're for the rest of our life.
And the ramifications are frightening.
If we left this unattended, this whole insurance area, that 4, 5, 6 years from now, we may find it's another kind of financial debacle, very much akin to what we've seen in the S&L industry.
Tonight, Blue Cross Blue Shield, a Nightline investigation.
This is ABC News Nightline. Reporting from Washington, Ted Koppel.
Let's say, for the sake of argument, that we have this business proposition for you. 2 health insurance companies, you can invest in one or the other. The first company describes itself as the insurer of last resort. You work in a high-risk profession? No problem. Starting to get on in years? Hey, who needs a medical insurance plan more than you do? You gotta love them, right? The other company caters as much as it can to young, healthy, reasonably well-to-do clients who are not employed in high-risk professions. They avoid, as best they can, writing policies for anybody else. Now remember, we're not asking you whom you'd pick as neighbor of the year. Which company would you invest with? You're already well on your way to understanding some of the problems confronting the nation's largest health insurer, the Blues, Blue Cross Blue Shield. It is a name that for generations now has been synonymous with solid, reliable, affordable health insurance for virtually anyone who needs it. But if you think of the Blues as one single corporate giant, you're already in trouble. There is no national Blue Cross Blue Shield. The 94 million of you covered by the Blues are, in reality, covered by 73 separate companies. The good news is that 4 out of 5 Blue Cross Blue Shield plans are in reasonably sound financial shape. The bad news is that 14 of those plans, roughly 1 out of 5, are not. The National Association of Blue Cross Blue Shield acknowledges about as many plans are on its own watch list, suggesting some financial trouble. But that's as far as the association will go.
Our watch list, we don't reveal the names because this is proprietary information by those corporations.
Let me go back in there.
The list of 14 comes from Martin Weiss, an analyst who rates the insurance industry.
The number of people covered by companies that we would consider weak or very weak is close to 24 million.
24 million people covered by 14 Blue Cross Blue Shield plans located in these 10 states. Which brings us to the really bad news. There may be a national association of Blue Cross Blue Shield plans headquartered in Chicago, but essentially it is little more than a trade association. The plans that are doing well financially have no responsibility for the plans that are doing poorly, nor for that matter does the federal government.
There is no federal backing here. There is no federal insurance pool. People may think there is, but there is not. So if your company is not sound, if it goes broke, and if there's no state plan to pool the guaranteed benefits, then you just aren't insured, and the premiums you're paying are wasted.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield. We're in the health business, but we're not in it for the money.
That's a TV commercial from the late 1960s. But it reflects the founding principle of Blue Cross. The original goal in the late 1920s was to provide affordable health care to all those who needed it. It was a not-for-profit company. Any money it earned went right back into the health care plan. In return for the pledge to provide insurance for everyone, Blue Cross gained certain tax advantages. Its huge roster of customers also gave Blue Cross tremendous leverage with doctors and hospitals. It could and did get the lowest prices in health care.
Blue Cross plans were for a long time noble institutions. They continued to cover individuals and small groups when the commercial companies wouldn't. They continued to offer comprehensive policies at fair and reasonable rates.
But times and conditions have changed. People are living longer. Medical expenditures between 1970 and 1991 have gone up tenfold. That's largely a function of inflation, but even in constant dollars, medical expenditures have risen 300% over the last 20 years.
That's problem number one. Problem number two is mismanagement within the Blue Cross Blue Shield companies. Problem number three is very strong political pressure on some state regulators to keep premiums artificially low. That's a worthy goal, but it has to be balanced with the goal of keeping the company strong.
Always a competitive business, health insurance in the 1980s turned cutthroat. The commercial, for-profit insurance companies began undercutting Blue Cross Blue Shield with a practice known as cherry picking.
You go into the marketplace and you take all the healthy and young people and you enroll them and you leave all the sick and older people out.
Then came the tax reform bill of 1986. As part of tax reform, Blue Cross lost its federal tax exemption. In most states, they still pay neither state nor local taxes. So why are just some Blue Cross Blue Shield plans in trouble? Part of the answer is a function of demographics. It is in the Northeast where you find our oldest and sickest populations and most of the weakest plans. And part of the answer also is that the Blues that are in trouble are the ones that are adhering more closely to the original mission, ensuring all comers.
Whether it is AIDS, cancer, heart disease, hemophilia, all of these diseases, as far as we're concerned, they're no different from any other. That's what insurance is for.
But if part of this story is of Blue Cross Blue Shield plans falling victim to inflation, changing times, and brutal competition, then it must also be said that this is a story of malfeasance, incompetence, and stupidity.
A number of these plans are acting and have been acting during the 1980s with increasing desperation, like a rat in a corner, or like someone who's lost a job who now starts buying 5 times more lottery tickets.
Whatever and whoever is to blame, the nation is facing a potential health insurance fiasco of monumental proportions.
You've got some extremely serious implications for millions and millions of Americans who depend on health insurance for their security and for the contingencies that may come about in their own lives.
When we come back, we'll look at one of the worst, a Blue Cross plan that went belly up, and the legacy of that disaster today.
This is ABC News Nightline, brought to you by Goodyear.
I take my son to daycare every day, and his security is my primary concern.
Paul Kewen talks about his new Goodyear AquaTread radials.
When I first saw the AquaTread, I thought, okay, I see how the water is going to flow away.
The advanced Deep Groove Aqua Channel channels water away as you drive.
I feel like I've got control in different conditions.
AquaTread, only from Goodyear. Paul Kewen knows, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
I feel very confident.
Hi, it's code for 148 North St. Andrews, Salvatore, North St. 81 clear. 814 clear.
Of all the things around your house that need batteries, there's one thing that needs a good, fresh battery most of all. See your Allstate agent for a free home fire safety brochure. And please, check the battery in your smoke detector often.
Let's face it, kids are always going to snack. It's instinctive, part of their chemistry. So why not give them something incredible to snack on? Like new Incredibites. Incredible bite-sized nuggets of crispy granola filled with chocolate, peanut butter, or vanilla cream. It's a delicious kid snack even a mother could love. New Incredibites. Send them snacking in a new direction.
You guys going past me. Hey. One of the great things about Des Moines is our bike paths. What a way to relax and reflect. Some are in such a hurry that getting where they're going is the only thing that matters. In life, both the trip and the destination are important. Life can be a hectic race or a journey to enjoy. A personal relationship with Jesus Christ will not only make your path worth traveling, but your destination assured.
It's us and them, the slimy world of rip-off car repairmen.
Thieves.
Primetime's undercover cameras catch the boys under the hood. Primetime Thursday.
We had never had any trouble with Blue Cross. They always paid our bills.
Before, when you mentioned Blue Cross Blue Shield, just you were proud.
You just hand them the card, and they welcomed you with open arms.
It was felt to be the premier insurance company in the state and nationwide.
I felt protected.
For the people of this state, it was a financial and an emotional disaster. In October of 1990, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of West Virginia was declared insolvent and ordered liquidated. Blue Cross West Virginia experienced many of the problems we told you about earlier: rising health costs, an aging population, competition from other insurance companies. Management found itself unable to meet the challenge. At the end of the day, West Virginians were left with $38 million worth of unpaid medical bills and mass confusion.
We call this the receivership from hell. It is the worst situation I have ever seen.
Betty Cordial is the state liquidator in charge of the Blue Cross insolvency.
People trusted Blue Cross. They were the major health care provider in this state. And all these people have been left for almost 2 years now with their bills going unpaid.
Here in Boomer, West Virginia, Naomi Walkup has lived in the same house for nearly 50 years. She's been with Blue Cross for more than 30 of them. She hadn't had any problems with the plan until shortly before it folded.
Well, I had been in the hospital for about 38 or 40 years. Then I got sick and was vomiting and I had to go over there.
Her Blue Cross coverage should have picked up the nearly $700 not covered by Medicare.
After I come home, I kept getting bills from her, she don't. Blue Cross wasn't paying. Now, Medicare paid it. They paid their share. But Blue Cross didn't because they said they didn't have any money.
Painful part's over with, ma'am.
Dr. Jim Stanton is a cardiac surgeon with his own private practice who operates at Charleston Area Medical Center's facilities.
They've never paid us a cent. We went ahead and did not charge the patients. I didn't think it was fair to charge patients who are paying premiums. Most of the patients I see are already ill, and I hate to add financial problems to people who are already having medical problems. It just isn't right.
Documents found by Dr. Stanton from some of his Blue Cross patients show that patients were notified that their bills had been paid.
The inexcusable part was leading patients to believe they were covered for all that period of time, accepting their premiums, knowing they weren't paying a cent on their hospital bills, and then sending these misleading statements as though the bills were being paid with this little disclaimer that your claim has been approved for payment. However, your provider may experience a delay. Well, so far, it's been a 3-year delay. This provider hasn't experienced payment yet.
In 1987, Jim and Judy Hall's older son, Todd, suffered brain damage in a skateboard accident.
This was a very devastating injury. We stayed at the hospital, slept on the floor, about 6 weeks.
Blue Cross paid for most of Todd's treatment, but the Halls got stuck with nearly $40,000 of medical bills when the West Virginia plan went belly up. A new plan, Mountain State Blue Cross, took over coverage, but the Halls say Mountain State is balking at paying Todd's bills since the changeover.
It's hard for me to tell you what has been paid and what hasn't. The last facility he was in Houston, I know that bill's $450,000. Nothing's been paid on that.
Mountain State says the Hall's claims are being contested and are presently in litigation.
If this thing does get dumped on us, I mean, financially, we're ruined for the rest of our life.
Although the West Virginia plan was not declared bankrupt until October of 1990, it is now clear that its financial problems have been mounting for years.
In '86, when I left, they were still in the black, but heading downhill.
Jack Sterms was vice president of the West Virginia Blue Cross.
3 years of losses and 3 years of huge, horrendous rate increases on the heads of subscribers.
Sterms says he resigned when he became aware of gross mismanagement. For one thing, he saw Blue Cross creating for-profit subsidiaries, spin-off businesses like a computer hardware dealership and an office systems company. They were manned by people on the Blue Cross payroll. Profits from them might have helped offset the mounting losses on health insurance, but instead the subsidiaries themselves devoured more and more of Blue Cross's resources, the sole source of which was subscribers' premiums. And that wasn't the only drain on the plan's income. According to documents obtained by Nightline, in at least one case, money from the plan was used to pay legal fees to settle a paternity suit involving the president of the company and an employee.
The money that it was taken from was basically from the premium payments that the subscribers and insureds paid.
How could these activities have been allowed to continue, and who should have known?
You feel so helpless. You know what's going on, and you can't stop it.
Hanley Clark is the insurance commissioner for West Virginia. He says he lacked the authority to intervene.
The commissioner is only as good, and that's important, they're only as good as the laws that he or she has on the books. You can know something's happening and not be able to do anything.
Others place the blame squarely at his door.
The regulators were living in that environment, should have been a lot closer to it.
In what becomes a never-ending game of pass the buck, the insurance commissioner points the finger at the National Association of Blue Cross Blue Shield.
We were not getting the cooperation we needed from anyone that we were involved with. The National Association was not cooperating with us the way they should have.
It is a vicious cycle which left thousands of people in West Virginia feeling stranded. The question is, could it happen elsewhere in the country?
I do not think these problems exist only in West Virginia. I think they're widespread. I think they affect many companies in the health insurance area, and I think they affect people in many states.
We'll look at some of those other states when we return.
Here, she has the traveler's checks here. There's got to be a better way. Here's one now. New American Express traveler's checks for two. The first checks either of you can use. Don't leave home without them.
My car, it needs a brake job. Just my luck. My dealer makes appointments, so I'm stuck.
You've got to take your car to Midas when your brakes go bad. Now is just the perfect time, so stop feeling sad.
Get great brake values at Midas today. Presenting Digital Music Express. 30 channels of CD quality music. The music you want to hear when you want to hear it. DMX comes through your TV cable into your tuner and right into your stereo. And you get all 30 channels for a lot less than you ever thought you'd pay for music. If you like music, you're going to love DMX. Digital Music Express. Just call us today.
Now available in Ames, Nevada, as well as Greater Des Moines.
I'm not sure if you know this,
There are over 600,000 words in the English language. Most of us use 2,000 of them. What happened to the rest? They're on paint cans, confusing the heck out of everybody. That's why I'm introducing Ed Wiggins Private Stock. It's just as good a quality of paint as you can get with the easiest instructions you've ever seen to make painting a whole lot easier and to prevent you from coming up with a few choice words of your own.
Outside flat paint on sale at Menards, only $9.79.
Oh, Betty, something new. Introducing Betty Crocker Supreme Dessert Bars in 4 great flavors.
Your chocolate peanut butter drives me nuts. Your lemon gives me chills.
How do you do it?
Your caramel turns me inside out. Your chocolate toffee sends me thrills.
Betty Crocker Dessert Bars. There's never been anything quite like them.
Dad! You sweet talker.
New dessert bars.
Betty Crocker.
Dustin Hoffman on Sex and Other Things.
I'd run all the way down from one end of the house to the other, naked, and they just suddenly burst out into applause.
Primetime Thursday.
There was a time when you defined what Blue Cross was by describing what it did. It provided low-cost health insurance to anyone who wanted it. It wasn't a charity, but whatever profits it earned were plowed right back into the health plans. The ad said it all.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield. We're in the health business, but we're not in it for the money.
But when Blue Cross in Maryland wines and dines its wealthier clients with tickets to the symphony,
That is going to be a base hit.
or a skybox to watch the Orioles play, it becomes more and more difficult to distinguish the line between Blue Cross and those other health insurance companies.
We try to attract the business of large groups by using skyboxes or otherwise entertaining clients, because when we're able to get that kind of business, it's good for all of our policyholders.
And when you raise the issue of executive salaries in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, $700,000, for example, to Maryland's CEO.
They are barely competitive with what industry pays.
Which, of course, is part of the problem. Blue Cross is trying to become competitive by doing things it never did before, as in Washington, D.C., where the National Capital Area Plan set up dozens of for-profit companies to raise badly needed cash.
We were inquiring into how many for-profits they had. We got back this chart. We first got this back saying 18 were owned. And now we have the most recent chart, which shows something like upside down, but something like 42.
At least 16 of these are offshore companies. A medical clinic in New Guinea, for example, a health plan in Jamaica. Here in the U.S., the Washington, D.C. plan owns a few dozen more for-profit subsidiaries. They haven't made money. Collectively, they've lost millions.
If you look at their investments in affiliates, you'd have to question, frankly, what the overall plan is that gives them guidance as to the choices they make to invest in these affiliates.
If they're losing money, then they're going to be milking the Blue Cross Blue Shield, in effect, the ratepayers.
In different parts of the country, Florida, for example, with its high percentage of elderly, the volume of incoming claims is causing monumental delays in payments. But in Florida specifically, according to one former Blue Cross Blue Shield employee, the pressure has led to outright criminality. Teresa Burr charges that she was instructed to make incoming claims disappear because the system simply couldn't handle the volume.
There was 3 ways claims were destroyed. They were either destroyed by being put into the trash can, or they never came to the mailroom. They were destroyed prior to that, or in the system themselves, they were. There was a particular aspect of the system that you were able to use to tell the system to get rid of, to delete this claim.
We contacted several medical equipment suppliers in Florida to ask if any of their claims had been lost or destroyed.
We had 517 claims worth about $300,000 or $400,000 that disappeared from the computers in Jacksonville.
We contacted Cross Blue Shield of Florida. Their officers deny the allegations, but would not appear on camera. And so we come to the Big Apple, the nation's largest Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, Empire, New York, with more than 8.5 million subscribers, is on the verge of going broke.
Empire's financial condition has been deteriorating over the last couple of years, and right now they're in a position where they are having dwindling surplus. They project that by the end of 1992 they would be down around zero surplus or zero reserves.
And if they go under, it can be catastrophic personally. There'll be more people who go without insurance. More people will die because they lack health care, if not preventive health care.
We're here to make sure that it isn't too late for Empire. We're here to make sure that when they do apply for a rate increase, as I said, they'll get what they need at least to tread water, at least to stay above zero.
We lost $150 million for the 12 months ended December 31st, 1991. And we are continuing to lose reserves, and we'll lose up until the point we either get a rate increase or the new law takes effect, April 1st of next year.
The new law will change the entire face of health insurance in New York State. It will force all commercial insurance companies to do what used to make Blue Cross unique, accept anyone who needs health insurance regardless of medical status. It is intended to spread the risk and save the blues in New York State. Increasingly around the country, states are coming to realize that there's a lot about Blue Cross Blue Shield they haven't known. With 94 million customers, though, no one can afford to let the blues go under. But with 24 million of those customers covered by plans that are already in financial trouble, it isn't going to be business as usual anymore either. Tomorrow, the blues come under the scrutiny of the Permanent Senate Subcommittee on Investigations, under the chairmanship of Sam Nunn of Georgia. I'll be back with a program note in a moment.
Well, it's here. Time for me to step down and retire as chairman of Chrysler. And hey, anybody that goes out wants to go out with a bang. And we've got a bang that'll be heard from Germany to Japan. It's a new car design that's as revolutionary as our minivan was. It's going to change the way cars are designed from now on. We call it cab forward. What we did was move the windshield forward. Then we pulled the rear wheels back, made the rear doors wider and easier to get through, and increased the width. Believe me, this does more than just improve the looks. It gives you a lot more room inside, it rides better, and it's easier to handle. I think cab forward, like our minivan, is going to get copied by everybody. It has to, just because it makes so much sense. You know, I got to tell you, when it's your last turn at bat, it sure is nice to hit a home run.
No one has to tell you that doing business today is more challenging than ever. But all over the world, one company is helping you meet those challenges head on, no matter what it takes. New challenges, new thinking.
This is it, the heart of the Iowa automobile industry. Only the largest Iowa dealers are represented on the Merle Hay Auto Mile. Friedman Toyota Volkswagen Saab, Des Moines Chrysler Plymouth, Charles Gabus Ford, Acura of Des Moines, Bob Brown Chevy Geo, Stivers Lincoln Mercury, Hummel's Nissan, Bob Brown Isuzu, Suzuki Incorporated, the Merle Hay Auto Mile. Shop the mile.
On the next Good Morning America, a major medical breakthrough. What causes Alzheimer's disease?
Plus a guide to marathon training, and Billy Crystal here on Good Morning America.
Tomorrow night, we'll be focusing on the Iran-Contra scandal and the president's credibility. Just how much did George Bush know, and when did he know it? That's our report for tonight. I'm Ted Koppel in Washington. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
If you wish a videocassette version of Nightline, the cost is $14.98 plus $3.95 shipping and handling. If you wish a printed transcript, please send $4 to 1535 Grant Street, Denver, Colorado, 80203.
Nightline is a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Thursday.
Cue the musicians.
The reviews are in.
Limo tomato juices.
It's a delight.
I'm proud of you, Ginger. We're popping our best. We know you'll think
An all-time favorite.
that it's the best drink.
Homefront returns with loads of charm. Homefront, Thursday.
You're watching Channel 5.